so we will stay in collaboration with the Graph500. The submission is aligned. Actually, we're using the same submission system, so there's really no chance to get it wrong. And then just watch this webpage. This is the official Graph500 webpage, and again, we're collaborating with the steering committee here, and thanks to the steering committee. So thank you very much. And do we have additional questions or discussions?
Yeah, so you have like two systems that are nowhere, right? Like you have small system, big system, and two systems that completely disappear from the list.
No. This list is not complete. So sorry.
So if you go back to the previous one, yeah. So
there are three
no. They will be in the small number. Those are this is also an interesting data point. Those systems are just you have to draw the line here between small and big, right? At scale 31. Okay. So those systems are all single node systems. Those systems are actually systems that are below the bar for the scale. So they count as small systems, but they use multiple nodes. So one of this guy here is using the gigabit Ethernet interconnection, for example. So that doesn't give you the highest taps rate, but also consumes power. So this is why it's down here. So those three systems will actually be on the list.
Plain and simple. Bad idea.
Bad idea. Well, it's not necessarily a bad idea. I don't think so. It's a data point. It's a data point.
It's a data point. It tells you that that's a bad idea.
Well, somebody's going to have to come up with the green penny pinching graph, I think.
But okay, so does that answer your question? So they were of course on the list. They're not among the top 7 here. So this list actually goes to 16.
Yeah, but it's kind of unfair to put the two guys over there like 27 and 28.
They're also multi-node.
Yeah, that multi-node with the small guy where they're going to be killed.
No. This is just the way we chose to measure. It's the median of the Graph500 list. So if you want to propose a different way of dividing that, then we can.
So why don't you do multi-node, single node? Well, if you're running MPI on multiple nodes, then
isn't SMP system multi-node?
Does not actually ask you how you run it. It asks you for the number, and so. What?
Well, it's very difficult to define.
Multi-socket, multi-node, multi.
Traditionally, we would have
thread.
That debate, right? Is a node a memory space? Is a node a socket? Is a node a core? How do any of the Conway systems fit? Because they're clearly a single node, but I don't know how many cores they have, right?
It just gets into horrible details, which we don't want to make decisions because as soon as it becomes political. This is the simplest measure we came up with. Right? Sort the Graph500 by the scale, pick the middle one, and that's the division.
The easy way to fix this is to submit a lot of really small entries or a lot of really big entries, and you move them to the
If you yes, if you want to game the system, there is like the proposal that Rich just made to describe that measure. Yes.
Somebody will do that. Will come up with a rule.
If it is, yeah, that's exactly.
No, we have 500, and then it'll be.
So if, as soon as we hit the 500, essentially, that measure will probably just vanish. But we have to see how we deal with this. But right now, we have to make it otherwise. We have really a skewed list in this sense. Okay, we have additional questions or comments? Yes?
I have one general question. When will the full list be posted? The full lists?
They ought to be up on the web page now.
What's that?
They ought to be up on the web page now, are they not?
They do not appear to be.
So the green list will appear as soon as I have internet access, which I don't have. You can actually
delay that.
You can just add, if you go to lists and you add the 2 after the list is lists2.html, and then you'll get the list. It's very secure. Yes, it's a very safe system. Okay, thank you very much. And then remember, you may get your certificates if you want.
So
I'll turn it over to Rich, but the Graph500 list should be online. We told the folks back home to release it, so hopefully you'll see it as soon as we see it. Rich?
I just, traditionally at the end of the talk, we do open it up for discussion. So if anybody has any further questions about anything, you can take those now. Yeah, do that.
I would continue to encourage you to promote the list.
it's a big deal for people to submit. It takes a lot of time, they do a lot of work. I think particularly if you want to be in the top 10, you're running a custom algorithm that's well mapped to your hardware. There's several people in the audience who I see who've written algorithms like that. And so I do actually want to thank everybody who's taken the time to do that. I think it's been very, very important. And if anybody wants me to go cheerlead the list anywhere, I'd be happy to do that.
So I have one comment to promote that. So the person who has been working on this Graph500 for 3 years, Fabrizio Petrini, actually dedicated his time on this one. I mean, there are other work he did, and he was promoted to be a leadership position because of that. So I think it's worth to try for your career too.
All right, so we all know you can get a promotion at IBM.
Yeah.
Right? Actually, I think the other person who's been pretty instrumental in the Blue Gene results has been Jeremiah Wilcox from Indiana University too. Yeah, who's working with Fabrizio on it. So it's probably an effort of more than one. But Fabrizio, I know he does email me at 4 o'clock in the morning with questions. So.
I'm just curious, the people in the audience here, so hands up if you're not a vendor. Just curious how many end users there are. Okay. And how many of the end users are kind of like, government, non-private sector? Okay, thanks.
It's actually a pretty good mix on the list if you look between government and non-government sites. And if you look on the steering committee, there's actually a pretty good industry representation, including some end users who like to hang out on the list and not say much. So Google, for example, is on the steering committee, but they don't submit results.
And I think it was a good. Interfaces to be available, and many times it's not completely available within the open up the best outlet.
There's another question? Yeah.
I just want to comment that I think there is a big discussion how we just rank this score. So then the current metrics is just only the throughput, gigataps, right? So there is just only big discussion just considering about problem size, because this submission in Graph500 just focusing on the big data processing. So I think the top number one just I think solves scale 40 or something, right? So we are just not just reaching up to the point that the huge problem size is called huge.
Yeah, the
I think
percentage
this is
of memory
42.
that you cover when you run a problem is not 100%, right?
Yeah, so that discussion still is ongoing, or
Yeah, are you on the steering committee already?
yeah, it's still committee, but there is no way I think
Well, we should generate some more traffic about that. I think there needs to be some more discussion about the second kernel. So the specification's out, and maybe what we can do is, I think David and I can commit to organizing a conference call at least to spur that discussion. Because I think, this is a learning process, as David said. We're trying to come up with the right answer, and we don't always do that the first time.
Okay.
So if you would help push that discussion, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, of course it's just we are just running the benchmark in the university as well, but just by running that kind of experiments, as the experiment just takes like several hours, which is ridiculous. I think it's most of the time just spent on the validation phase. So I just push the continue to we should reduce the number of the
You should be able to
validation
lighten the validation phase for
to the 32
Well,
or
it
something.
depends on what architecture and what machine you use, so.
Right.
Yeah, but still, I think compared to the computation time for PFS, this only takes a couple of seconds, but for the validation, I think it takes 10 times.
Why don't you, we'll start a discussion offline about this, because I actually think we need to lessen the validation. We need to make sure we get the right answer, but we make it a little less onerous for people anyway. So.
Right. Okay, thanks.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming. David, did you want to say anything else?
No, I just wanted to thank everyone again, And there are discussion lists on the steering committee and others, so I encourage you to contact any of the organizers, Rich, myself, Andrew Lumsdain, Mark Sneer. We operate as a four-person leadership, and we just encourage the committee to keep interacting, and if this is useful, then we'll continue with this list each year. So thank you for your attendance, and we look forward to seeing you in supercomputing in November, and then back here at ISC next year. Thank you. And if anyone is here representing any of the